let's see what we say about which Hat Atelier. I think we'll have a little bit more to say about this one than Damon's.
Grim Hat looks cool.
So we did our 3-episode review at the beginning of the season, which ended at the Dada range, right? And since then, gosh, dragons, brim hats, the Knights Morales, the Serpent Back Cave. It's pretty packed. Pretty dense 12 episodes, it felt like. Angel, I gotta get this question out of the way. Who's your favorite character?
Simple. Keyfree.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick a second, it'd probably be God.
God. Interesting.
They
God.
grew on me.
Oh. A God grew on me as well. But, oh, yeah, I was a little surprised. Interesting. Are you enjoying the fact that the last arc of the season was very God focused?
Maybe that does have some influence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could. You had everything that happened like in the river.
Yeah.
Right. And that was a sort of trial for her. And then obviously in the Serpent Back Cave. And I can't forget, she was a very pivotal part of fighting the dragon as well. So no, it's no surprise Agat grew on you, I don't think. Do you have a favorite Agat moment?
Oh, if I had to say one, it's kind of her showing her growth and defending Coco at the end against the what was it, the Knights Morales?
Mm-hmm. When those red caped MFers came out.
What about you? Who would you pick?
Well, first of all, I want to say my favorite Agat moment personally was when they're getting those, I'm just going to call them puffins.
Okay.
They have a name in the show, like Morphin. I just watched it too, but the Morphins or whatever. The birds. She's trying to tell a bird like, come this way. You got to follow me. And the bird just like puts a one of their wings on her arm, and it does like an open mouth, like cute little noise, and a gotch. Just the way she like backs off. She has a soft side for animals, I think, that that hadn't come through before that moment. And to me, it really showed that like, oh, Agat isn't just a horrible monster sometimes to her, to defenseless creatures, as we've seen her like treat Coco and some of her other apprentices. My favorite Keyfree. It's hard to say anything other than Keyfree. I think I connect to Orugio simply because I think he's kind of opened my eyes to the goatee. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can rock a goatee if I make it look like his. And his overall demeanor is also like he's also secretly soft too. I like characters with a secret soft side. But Keyfree, it's hard to say anyone other than Keyfree to be TBH. And my favorite apprentice would have to be Tetia. And I'll tell you why specifically. It's because of the dub.
Okay.
Did you watch the sub or the dub?
Sub.
Sub?
Sub.
Okay, so I'm gonna link you this Tetia clip, and you'll see what I mean. But there's a moment where they're on that tower. They found the seal.
Yeah.
Right. And Tetia, in an accidental haste, breaks the seal, which has consequences unforeseen to her, right? And Agat's yelling, and she's like, "Why did you break the seal?" It's like, or something like that. Oh shit! Now I have to rewatch it. Actually, I don't want to get this too wrong. Oh yeah. Agat's like, "What were you thinking?" And Tetia's like, "I thought we had to break the seal," but she has like such an accent. It's just so funny to hear. You know what I mean? And from that moment forward, I'm like, Tetia's my favorite. 100%. Because first of all, adorable. Second of all, relatable.
You know what? The English dub doesn't sound bad.
The English dub is excellent. I want to make that perfectly clear. I think it's actually one of the few instances where the dub is superior to the sub, especially considering the Demon Slayerification of Kifri, the Tanjiroification, as we had discussed in the first 3 episodes. Sometimes when Kifri yells and that Tanjiro like scree comes out, I just go, oh no.
Oh,
But in
same voice actor, right?
same voice actor, yes. But in the English dub, Kifri has such a like low voice when he's talking, and then when he raises his voice, there's like there's some gravitas to there. You like, it's one of those voices that if it was yelling to you randomly on the street, you would turn immediately just to see like, is that guy talking to me? You know what I mean? Like whoa, hey, where's this aggression coming from? Yeah, I can't speak enough about the English voice actor Joshua Waters, just in case anyone else was curious as to who he was. Yeah, great stuff. But and also Tetia, she also has a rant later where she talks about her ideal hat, and it goes in line with her like whole a good deed kills 2 birds with 1 stone. It's a thanks for a thanks. It's a thank you for your thank you type shit. Yeah, Tetia was just like a home run for me. I think her voice actress and her funny mannerisms were great to watch. Funny enough, Claudia specifically said that she did not like Coco.
Really?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of understandable. There's she's a troublesome child. Like, she's very impulsive and she can't really foresee consequences too much. So I think Claudia was very annoyed by that.
Favorite adult character. It's so you can't not pick Keyfree.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Like, you know, old Rugio's there to like tempt you a little bit, but like, come on. It's Keyfree. Talk about like our loving parent, but like, ooh, he has a bit of a dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, Kiefer definitely has that just that thing that people want. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to say it. You
Bro,
know?
he's caring, but he knows when to be a little rough.
Oh, you're not gonna get bored with Master Kiefer. Too far?
No, that's perfect amount.
Let's see here. Your favorite apprentice?
It's Richa. It's Richa.
Richa is interesting. Okay, so I know we talked about IRL, but also on the pod, Angel is on the record for saying a got.
Angel
I said
would
Tetia.
pick a got.
He would pick a got. I agree. He picked the child who hates the other children. The man's so predictable.
Yeah.
Oh god, I kid. Angel, I kid.
You picked Tetia.
Tetia, yeah, I'm a Tetia guy. And you picked Riche. Why did you pick Riche? Riche. I don't know.
It's fine. I'm going based on how they pronounce it in the show. Riche.
I think they pronounced it in the dub like that too, to be fair.
I just love her attitude, I guess, where she's kind of the like aloof type, but you know, sort of like, you know, she's got the flat tone to her voice, but then she's got the like, oh man, I don't know why I'm like struggling with this one. Because honestly, it's like more of a vibe than anything, and so I'm trying to put it into words now.
Yeah.
But I mean, we also got a whole like arc about Richa, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the season. You know, it goes into her whole reasoning of like she doesn't want to be any witch other than herself, right? Which is in a way sort of holding her back, but then also allows her to come up with like creative uses for spells that like others wouldn't have thought to use them in that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the way she encourages Uini, man, come on, you can't not love it. Like she's a little harsh with him, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you kind of have to be with that guy.
You kind of have to be. I think that's harsher than anything she said.
Probably is. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just identified with her like a sort of like, you know, trying not to be any person other than yourself, which is something that like I try to be in my life, right? I try to be more like open about my interests, you know. I talk about my nerdy anime shit with just whoever, even if like it, you know, it's someone who like upon first thinking about it, I might be like, they might judge me for this. But because, you know, I'm like, oh, they're a little too normy for what I'm about to say. But I just go, you know what? I don't care. You know, I am my own person and I want to talk about the things that I enjoy.
Heck
right?
yeah.
And so like I very much like vibed with her mentality there. And just the funny moments as well. Like when she blows the hole in the wall and she does the like thumbs up next to it, you know. You know, while everyone's like arguing essentially or being like, what do we do? What do we do? Oh, you ruined the giant spell. And then Reach is like, by the way, I did it for you guys. Just so you know. But I think that's also another example of her like using spells in a way that others wouldn't think. Because, you know, they needed a big hole. So Agat was going through like, oh, we need a big spell drawn, right? But then Richa, I guess like they also say that her strong suit is drawing small spells quickly. I believe they bring that up at least. But you know,
in the Dragon's Labyrinth,
yeah. But you know, she is the one to think, well, we can just use a bunch of small ones instead, right? And I liked that aspect of her as a character.
All right, Angel. So, what's your favorite moment, animation wise?
I mean, animation wise, it's the dragon scene.
Of course. Keyfree flying into the sky,
saving a god and summoning the water dragon.
Dude, the water dragon diff was crazy. Oh, dude. I remember I was rewatching that scene with Claudia, and I was like, dude, that dragon, for the first time in its existence, knew fear. Because it was running away. It wasn't like, it wasn't like, oh, I can take it.
Yui and started flying away.
Yeah, that was awesome. To me, that was like a damn near perfect episode. You know, you had your kind of shonen-y way of solving the problem, and then you had your other kind of shonen-y way of solving the problem, which is just be better. Is it what you alluded to earlier, Big Dragon? The dragon diff?
That was the most impressive, I would say.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. You know, what we can only assume is the spell uses the water from the clouds, right? Because it doesn't create water from nothing. You know, that's established early on with like the little water orb thing, right? They say like, oh, it pulls it from the air, right?
Right.
And so like, I think it's a detail that seems like it's just like an animation flex where it's like all of a sudden this massive like boom, like circle just appears through the clouds, right? And then he casts the spell to actually summon that like water dragon, right? And so it's like the details in that, and I mean, it almost can't be anything other than that in a way. That's
not a wrong answer. Yeah, it's not a wrong answer at all.
If I had to pick something more like unique, perhaps you could say, I think it's also compounded by what happens, but it's literally the very last scene of the show. It is Keyfree, you know, getting all dark, like, you know, the big like dark waves coming over, right, where he's like gonna protect the girls, right? from the like golden statues, and then it ends right there, which is such a criminal place to end the freaking season. But that one is just like, I think, compounded by the anticipation of what's about to come, just really made me wonder, like, what's this guy about to do? We've seen him, split rivers and summon massive dragons of water that literally dwarf this already huge dragon that was terrorizing the girls, right? So it's just another, it's I think the anticipation of what's to come more than anything. And it's not even like a massive animation flex either, but it was standout.
For sure. It almost like reverts to like a manga panel, it feels like. You know what I mean? Just the way it goes black and white.
From what I understand, they animated which Hat Atelier very faithfully to the manga.
And I think that shows in the art style. I mean, I read the first book of the manga, and it really does feel like a recreation of the anime, I should say. Feels like a recreation of the manga. Obviously with some liberties thrown in, not to get into it too much, but I did try to see the water dragon scene in the grimoire I bought. And definitely Bug Films added a lot of detail in Keyfree, like you said, taking the water out of the clouds, all that, like creating that giant circle in the sky. Like that is anime original, you know what I mean? So they definitely take some good liberties, which I think is what a good animation studio should do,
as long as it pays off, right?
As long as it pays off. Indeed. I think more impressive than that is how it sticks to that art style. You know what I mean? It's just like that manga art style is it stands out so much, and it translates so well into anime.
Well, you look at Kamome Shirahama's drawings and you go, how did they even retain as much detail as they did?
Yes.
Though,
100%.
Like, her art is incredible, to say the very least. Like, I bought the first volume, not the grimoire edition, right? Because I was thinking about it. I kind of wanted to go the same route as you with the grimoire edition, but in the grand scheme of I was thinking about my bookshelf, and I'm like, nothing else is special edition on there. I want it all to sort of look the same.
Yeah, have a uniformity.
Yeah. I haven't opened it yet. In fact, I went out of my way to buy one of the sealed ones that's like still wrapped in shrink wrap.
Ooh.
Which I've only just now taken off to flip through. Yeah. It's just incredible, honestly.
It is amazing. Do you have a favorite non heavy animation moment, a favorite non fighting moment from these 12 episodes?
I would have to say, I think it's shortly after that. I'm not sure if it was, I think it was the end of the next episode of the Dragon. It was Keyfree talking to the old guy with the white beard. What's his name?
You're talking about the one who is in charge of the shop, right? And making all the things?
Nonoa.
Nonoa.
Yeah. I like the direction in that, they're talking, and then Keyfree, what was it? Nonoa was saying something along the lines of, like, we got to tell the, what are they called?
The Knights Morales.
Knights Morales, yeah. We got to tell the Knights Morales. And then Keyfree kind of just basically shuts him down. But in the way they like cut out the music immediately and animated Keyfree's face. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It kind of just adds more to his character in a mysterious way.
It was cutting the music, and it was like the it was like the sound that Call of Duty uses when you get hit by a flash grenade.
Yes.
Mixed with Kiefer like in that deep. I mean, in the dub. I don't know. Actually,
Yeah, like all of a sudden he gets serious, you know?
he gets super serious. I actually haven't heard it in the sub. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna play that real quick. But in the dub, like, yeah, his voice gets real deep, and he's like, "Do not speak." You know, it's like, oh
Yeah.
shit. I
Wow,
think that
hold
was
on.
it.
Who's this?
But is what?
You're like, oh wait, hold up. There's more to this, you know?
Oh yeah. It shows a depth to Kiefer's character that before that moment we hadn't really seen.
I think the
Right?
most like suspicious thing he'd done before that was in one of the earlier episodes, he as what's her name? Coco was integrating into the house with all the other students. He kind of like steps out and makes the transmission.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
all I can recall.
before that point, you're like, Kiefer's a dude, man. He's just a dad.
Yeah.
And then after that point, you go, Kiefer's got something maybe a little messed up in him. You know what I mean? And then when similar moments happen further on, such as when Nonoa again suggests going to the Knights Morales, when they discover that there was something wrong with Coco's ink vial, right?
Yeah.
And you see Kiefer clearly alters his memories, right? And you're just like, oh man, Kiefer is not like the goody goody dude that he kind of even like purposely portrays himself to be, right? Forget the impression that we got. It's a persona that he puts on, and he puts it on well too. When Nonoa's apprentice, the one with the silver watch eyes or whatever the color blindness is called in that world,
Yeah.
when he was like, "Oh, Kiefer, about that light," I was like half expecting Kiefer to be like, you know, maybe half panicked. But he plays his character perfectly. He like simultaneously with Nonoa, he's like, "Oh, what light? There was a light? Just complete gaslit, right?" And it's one of those things that makes Kiefer even more interesting as a character, right? Because he's clearly got some sort of underlying motivation and maybe even potentially a history with the brimmed caps. But then there's also a reason why he can't trust the Knights Morales, who are supposed to be like the law, right?
Oh.
Let me put it to you this way. How weird would it be if you got robbed, right? And you decided not to go to the police, right? The established police. There is obviously in that situation something that you don't want the law to know, right? So there's like layers to this obsession that Kiefer has with the brim caps, and I'm so looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Gosh, man. Sorry, I realize I have taken us completely off subject because we were talking about that one scene at the end where they cut the music. Yeah, that was brilliantly done. I don't think I've seen that in another anime. Do you recall anything like that where they cut the
Off
music?
the top of my head, no. I feel like it's been done before for sure.
It has to have been, right? But
Yeah. But I just can't recall a moment.
you know what? Hey, if you recall a moment, feel free to comment. Let us know. Maybe even send us a clip. You know, let us know. My favorite like heavy animation scene, besides the one that you just laid out, because that was awesome and is probably the peak of the show. I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. It's when Kiefer, after like getting that electricity damage, that lightning damage, he goes to the garden to get some, I'm assuming something to help his numbness. And Brush Buddy, you can see that they animate like Brush Buddy is kind of mimicking his chewing and
Okay.
stuff. And then Kiefer calls him Puff Puff. And you can see Brush Buddy's like annoyed by that. And that's right before Agat goes in with her new shoes that Coco drew for her, the ones that go like lightning fast, and crashes into them. I think that was like my favorite, like cute moment from the show. Mostly because Brush Buddy's the GOAT, dude. Brush Buddy is the GOAT. No one's ever gonna call him Puff Puff. I'm sorry, Keyfree. That's like, you're good at magic and everything, but names, not so much.
You know what? I think my favorite is when Coco helps Tarta with like finding the medicine.
That's a good one.
And you know, them figuring out how to turn the powdered herbs back into like their original form and all of that, because it's not super animation heavy.
Totally. No, yeah.
But the whole exchange of them like working together and working through like Tarta's like his disability, right?
What they refer in universe as Silverwatch disease or something along those lines.
Yeah, Silverwash eyes.
There we go.
Where he essentially only sees in black and white, right?
It's color blindness.
Yeah, full color blindness.
full color. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite. It seems like such a pivotal scene, especially with like the two characters like working together through like such a like I almost want to say like an intimate moment where, you know, Coco's sick and Tarta's having to help her the best he can, but he's struggling with not being able to tell the colors of the powders apart, and then Coco trying to help him then, even though she's the one that's sick, right? All of that. And I think it's the first time we really see Silverwash like from a first person perspective.
Yes. And yeah, it really puts it into context how hard being a witch would be for Tarta. You know what I mean? But it's
because they say like the reason that you can't is because you wouldn't be able to tell what is like modifying the ink that you're using, right, for your spells, because you add different things to the ink, it gives it different like effects. But if you have Silverwash, then you can't see the color difference. But in my mind, I'm like, this just seems like why couldn't he still become a witch? Like, yeah, maybe he wouldn't be like the most incredible witch of all time, but why can't he learn it all, right?
Yeah. And I think it's an interesting scene because it really does. Oh, man. Like, it really does call back to a time when we as a society didn't like put those conveniences for people with disabilities to kind of think of a time before Braille was invented. Think of a time before like sign language was an adopted universal language, right? Think of Helen Keller. Sorry, I don't know why that popped into my head. But we're kind of witnessing like the beginnings of maybe Tarta creating a system that would help other people with his disability down the line, and that could be like a standardized thing, like in which society in the future, for example, kind of like the way Braille was in ours.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really interesting concept. What do you think about this magic system? We kind of went into it a little bit in the first 3 episodes, but we have learned way more about it in the subsequent 10 episodes.
I personally very much enjoy the magic system and just the general concept of how it's done. There's it's different than just like, you know, being born in like with magic, and I'm trying to compare it to some other shows. Like, let's see.
Well, let's start with like something like Freyrin, right? It's based on your mana levels and what spells you have learned / conjured, right?
Yeah.
But you can just kind of summon magic on the fly. Yeah.
While here you kind of have to be prepared in a way, or because.
Well, yes, but then we've seen some like improvisation.
We've seen the improvisation, but at the same time, you have to learn that improvisation, you know, or like have it memorized and all that.
Yes. So Agat's kind of like the all-rounder, right? Where she's
Yeah.
just trying to learn everything. And, we have that moment in episode 12 when Richay's like, oh, like, why can't I be the one who goes? And Agat's like, you just don't know enough spells to be adaptable to the situations. You know what I mean? You know enough spells to make do in these sort of like casual situations, right? Like trying to pass the test, connecting the gaps of the Serpentback Road. But she doesn't have the ability to really like fight all that effectively, it seems like, right? Like she can make ribbons and stuff. And that's kind of her specialty. Coco's still early apprentice. Tetia, we haven't really seen too much of Tetia's magic. But where was I going with this? Oh, right. Magic systems.
Magic system.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting because you see, I think Elira, right, the proctor for the second test, gets just bodied instantly, right? Like it's no contest.
Yeah.
But is that necessarily a power level difference, or is that more because the brimmed caps ambushed her and she just does not have the means to, or would anyone really have the means to like fight back in a situation? We even see Kiefer when he's trying to get the drawn seals that are in those vial. He gets surprised by a huge amount of water magic coupled with lightning magic, and there's nothing he can do even, right? So are the brimmed caps like that much more powerful, or is it kind of like a guerrilla warfare thing here where they're like, because they kind of fight from the shadows, they're
that is interesting.
Better for like ambushing and that kind of thing. I don't know. But my point being, like, if this was Mushoku, for example, right? The power difference is usually measurable, right?
Yeah.
And in Witch Hat, it really isn't. It's kind of open, which I really enjoy. There are definitely some anime with some magic systems that are just straight up trash, right? Where you're just like, yeah, you've got higher mana pools or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Bro, you know what? Witch Hat's you know what Witch Hat's magic system reminds me of? The Irregular Magic High School.
I've actually heard really solid things about the Irregular Magic High School light novel.
Oh, really?
How like in depth it goes with their magic system and all that.
I mean, I even think what they do in the anime is like pretty in depth. Like magic is science in Irregular. So there's like,
it really is. There's
like a very similar thing happening in Witch Hat. It's pretty scientific too. In the same way, the brimmed caps in the last episode when she turns Uni into like a wolf beast, that guy's like, oh, didn't know that was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just gotta experiment with what's gonna happen. There's like a very, oh gosh, yeah, it's super interesting. Oh shit, the more I'm talking about it, the more I kind of get excited about what's to come. Yeah, looking forward to more Witch Hat in the future. Tanner, in our first 3 episode review, the mid-season review of Witch Hat, we talked a little bit about the magic system. We kind of speculated here and there. What has your opinion of the magic system evolved with the watching the rest of the season?
Oh, definitely. You start to understand how intricate it is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like how utterly complex it truly is. Like, I think it's something that you kind of witness early on, but you don't take much note of with Kiefer repairing the spell on the like flying
the carriage,
right?
Yeah.
you sort of miss the fact of how intricate the spells can get. And that one has a lot of detail in it because we're stuck so much on like the learning stage because it focuses so much on Coco and the other apprentices, right? That you have a bunch of these much simpler spells where it's just like the central like sigil with the symbols around it and a ring, you know, very, very simple in the terms of the magic system. But then you start to see other spells like the flying carriage, the spell in the maze. And since they're not like really focused on, or even like I saw recently the scene again where Coco is copying the spells in the book in the first episode, right? And the spell that turns the house to like crystal, right? If you go back and look at that, you go, how do they figure this shit out? like there's so much going on in those drawings. Like that, I think if anything, the magic system only gets more impressive as you learn more about it.
Totally. And something that I didn't really realize before, but through this discussion in particular, I'm realizing now, they do a great job of being like, all right, so here's how an amateur does spells. And as impressive as the apprentices other than Coco, as impressive as they are at doing spells relative to her, they also show you like what spells look like in the hands of a true master like Keyfree, right? And it makes you really wonder, like, how do you get to that point? You know what I mean? Where you can just summon a water dragon in lickety split.
Seemingly a split moment, right?
Yes. Right? Where the girls are kind of like, oh man, well, like, you know, how do we get this hole in this wall? You know what I mean? It's like a serious discussion until Riche like just does it, right? But it's like a thing they have to consider for a second. Like you see the evolution of these girls are eventually gonna have to get on that level, probably. You know what I mean? Which is enticing. It adds to the anticipation of like where this show is going. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think a lot of anime tend to kind of do that well. Like, I would say like that's a shortcoming of like a show like Jujutsu Kaisen, for example. Maybe not necessarily a shortcoming because it's not like it's detracting from the enjoyment of the show, but like you see Gojo, you're like, how do you get to that level? And the answer is you can't. It's part of his eyes. It is part of the lore with the thing and blah, blah. You know what I mean? There's something incredible about it kind of being like, theoretically, with enough training, anyone can be Keyfree. You know what I mean?
It's like realistic power scaling, but you see the gap.
Yes. And I think the gap is almost as interesting as, you know, seeing the girls learn, you know, itself.
And since the magic system is something that you can do in real life, technically, you know what I mean? You can put your own skills to the test of just drawing it, right?
See, I'm so non-artistic, it didn't even occur to me.
Like you could, you know, take a pen and paper and attempt to copy a Witch Hat Atelier spell, right? Now, how fast and how well could you do that? You would find out very quickly.
100%. Yeah, that's something I didn't even consider.
I want you to draw a circle on a piece of paper right now, bud.
I can't even do that. I'm drawing a tiny circle right now. It's ovular, but not my finest work, admittedly. But oh gosh, dude, yeah, very excited about the show. But Angel, you have any final things you want to talk about Witch Hat? I know you got to go to bed, so let's get this wrapped up.
There's not really much. The magic system was something I was going to bring up as well. Would you say, based off where they left off this season. Season 2 is imminent.
Ooh, if I had to guess, I would probably say winter 2027. That's just based on how they left it off. Like, how do you leave us on a cliffhanger like that
Yeah.
if it's not coming relatively soon, right? Oh gosh. See, the problem here is that it's Studio Bug Films. And the reason why that's a problem is not because the animation isn't excellent. I know you don't. I'm going to get into why in a second.
They only have 2 shows done.
Exactly. So it's hard to like sometimes you can go back, right? And look at like, okay, the difference or the gap between JJK season 1, season 2, and season 3. You know what I mean? Like you can start to establish patterns there. You can go, okay, Mappa's probably going to take roughly a 3 to 4 season gap between seasons, right? The problem with Bug Films is that they've only released Psalm 100, and that was like a year and a half ago, it feels like. Might be more. Psalm 100 was July 9th, 2023 was its first episode. So oh my God, that's 3 years ago. So I can't say with like full confidence, like, oh yeah, Bug Films is definitely gonna like come out with this anime in a timely manner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
That being said, I do believe the way they ended it almost gives me the impression that this was originally going to be a 2-core.
Yeah,
and maybe they decided, you know what, we need more time for the second half, so we're just gonna make it a single core and do a season 2 later down the line. So yeah, I think winter 2027 is doable, but I don't know. I can't like even speculate in this instance. What are you hoping for? Are you hoping for something soon?
If I had to take a guess, I think it takes a year.
I think a year's probably more realistic than what I said, but you know,
winter is hopeful.
It is definitely hopeful. Some would even say copeful. There are Witch Hat panels at Anime Expo this year. I'm wondering if maybe they're saving the announcement for some sort of pop off at Expo, given that it is, you know, the author is the like guest of honor at this expo, Shirahama Mome. So I'm wondering if maybe if this was any other anime, I wouldn't be saying, oh, they're saving an announcement for Expo, because there's tons of anime that like they don't give a shit, right? They're the company in Japan does not give a shit. You know what I mean? About Anime Expo. But with that arrangement, with the author being the guest of honor, with the Witch Hat panel, I believe is either at the Peacock Theater or it's at like the other one, or it's at the Crypto. I can't recall right now, but I know it's in one of the big theaters. I think we could be surprised by a Witch Hat Atelier season 2 announcement. Tanner, open-ended. Is there anything else you want to talk about for Witch Hat Atelier?
Anime of the season.
Oh god!
Like we were hyping up Nippon San Goku, like, oh, it's the dark horse, so it's so good, it has potential. Yeah. Witch Hat Atelier just checks every box I could want, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a better way to put it.
No, I'm with you. I think for me, it's a very much a 1A, 1B situation. You know what I mean? Where I would put Witch Hat at 1A, but Nippon is at 1B right there. You know what I mean? Like barely second place.
Yeah.
The margin for me, on my personal opinion, is almost negligible. But Witch Hat, it's a little bit cheating because I do like the witch aesthetic in general. Like the amount of the amount of non-Witch Hat witch stickers I bought at Expo cannot be understated.
It's like a psyop, man. I swear. Like, I don't get what happened, because I used to not care for the witch aesthetic at all, honestly. Mm-hmm. And now I see like there's like a lot of like witch themed stuff coming out recently, and the more I see it, the more I go, wow, that looks really interesting. I like that.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's funny because I was not allowed to watch Harry Potter, so you could say I'm in my rebellious phase now.
Oh shoot, it's not a phase, Mom.
Tanner, are you ready to rate or are we ready to bait?
I'm ready to rate.
Let's rate this show on a scale of 0 stars to 5 stars. Where in between Boy Girl Friendship and Sword Art Online would you rate this show?
Oh,
I'm kidding. That's we're not putting it between 1 star and 2 star.
Imagine
obviously.
how hard they'd have to drop the ball.
Dude,
Imagine.
It'd have to be like Promised Neverland season 2 levels, you know.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I never watched it.
And you never should.
Man, I'm tempted to say 5, honestly, because it is checking all the boxes I want in a different way than Sign of Affection is.
Yes.
In terms of drama, in terms of the characters and how I like all of them, in terms of it hits you with like the romantic aspects of magic as well as the gruesome aspects of magic, right? It touches on everything and it doesn't leave anything missing, or I haven't felt like I've been needing to know more than what they've been presented to me, or at least from things that they're not like intentionally holding back for like the plot, right?
100%.
So like, you know, it's up there. A Sign of Affection is I think I have to say 5 because A Sign of Affection also isn't a finished anime, right? And it made me go and buy the manga.
Mm-hmm.
And Witch Hat Atelier is not a finished anime, and it has season 2 confirmed already, right? I could wait till season 2. I decided I did not want to wait till season 2. And I went and I bought the first volume of the manga, right? So that definitely speaks to how badly I want to see more of it.
You could say it speaks volumes. Oh, God. Jimmy Carr laugh never dies. Tanner, I can't blame you at all for that opinion. That is a valid opinion. I think it is important to state that like Sign of Affection, Witch Hat, 2 very different genres serving very different goals, you know.
Indeed.
So I wouldn't call it necessarily like Witch Hat is usurping it, more like Witch Hat is like standing with it, you know.
Yeah,
unless you are saying it's usurping it, which is, you know, if I have to update this rubric, I will. But
no. I'm not saying that it's usurping it because like
okay.
Sign of Affection, you know, it's a show I watch or a manga I read that, you know, it has you like kicking your legs under the desk or like doing the like, you know, you've got your legs up and crossed in the air while you're laying on your stomach reading it, and you're you know what the picture I'm trying to draw, right?
Oh, I know exactly what you're trying to do. A schoolgirl texting her crush.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's how I feel watching that show.
Oh gosh.
It's not the same.
We are not the same. Damn. Oh gosh. I'm pretty sure I already gave a rating, and now I'm struggling to remember what rating I gave. I feel like I gave it a 4.9.
You got to give it more than Nippon-san Goku, in my opinion. Like, but there's not much room more to give.
Yeah, there's not much room more to give, man. I mean,
like I was tempted to say, like, I was in my head, I'm like, do I say some bullshit like 4.95? Like,
I think hearing you talk about like, oh, maybe buy the manga. Well, it made me buy the freaking encyclopedia edition of Witch Hat.
Yeah.
And an art book. Like, those were things that I was genuinely like when I saw them. I'm like, I legitimately have to have these. The art style is impeccable.
And going through Artist Alley at Anime Expo, I specifically was like, I need to find a Riche themed thing that I like, right? And I knew it was going to be hard because since Witch Hat Atelier is a recent anime, having fan art out and then a product created from that is a tight timeline.
Yes,
right?
it is.
And then also Riche, admittedly, is not one of the, main characters, right? You're going to see Coco and Keyfree, and then you're also going to see lots of Olrugio because people love to fantasize about Keyfree and Olrugio, right?
It's true.
And then I saw a lot of Agat as well, but there wasn't much Riche, but I did manage to find it. I went through every single aisle, looked at everything. I braved the mess of Artist Alley to find what I wanted. And I knew I was like, I'm only going to buy one. So I took notes of the different booths that I liked what they had so I could go back and compare. Those were the lengths I was willing to go.
Damn. It really does speak to it's a testament to the quality of the show and the source material, of course.
Which also reminds me, I didn't, when I sent all the stuff I bought on the last day from Artist Alley, I didn't show you the Riche thing I bought. So I can show you what I'm talking about.
Wonderful. Oh, let's see here. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's and a little brush buddy on it as well. Well done. Well done. We're gonna have to see if that vendor's back next year, and I'm gonna have to get myself a Tetsuya.
I think they had one of each character. So
perfect. Well, Tanner, I'm gonna stick to my rating, whatever that was. I'm sure I'm going to plant that after this portion, and if don't, whoops. Angel, I gave you your rubric earlier, but just to remind the audience, Wise Man's Grandchild at the 1-star, Seven Deadly Sins, Danmachi, Railgun, and Steins Gate as your 5-star. Where would you place this first season of Witch Hat Atelier given your rubric?
Above Railgun.
Oh, for sure. That's the thing about your rubric in particular. I think Steins Gate could not be beat ever. I don't think we're ever going to see Steins Gate replaced. I could see a world where I could replace Freyrin. I do have Freyrin as my personal perfect 5, but
I don't know. I mean, you haven't watched Steins Gate yet, so
you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that. I have bought the Steins Gate visual novel for the 3rd time, so maybe I can finally get through it. Yeah, I bought it once on PC, once on my first Switch, and then I bought whatever, there's a version that comes with the anime integrated into the light novel. What was it called?
Steins Gate Elite.
Oh, yeah. That's the one. And then there's another version coming out soon, I think, at the Spike.
Reboot.
Is that actually what it's called?
I think so.
Oh, wow. I think we were talking about it on the last podcast episode. The Spike Chunsoft was going to have an announcement regarding that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you have it between a 4 and a 5.
I'm gonna put a solid 4.6.
Pretty damn good.
I enjoyed it.
And
just, a quick comment.
Oh yes, go ahead.
I wanted to see where Freyrin was on the Mal top series list, right? And it's number 1, but ReZero season 4 is number 2 currently.
Oh yeah,
above Full Metal Alchemist.
Bro, I have been trying to tell you. Bro. This shit's hype as fuck. Have you seen the IMDb episode list for ReZero?
No.
I think it's the only time I've ever seen multiple 10s. Or 9.9, like practically 10s.
Attack on Titan 10s in a row. I know that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's fair. That is fair. Starts off with an 8.6. That's fair because it takes place literally right after the end of the events in Pristella, and as you know, I'm on the record saying I hated the Pristella arc. In terms of like how it was adapted in the anime. I've heard tons of people say like, "Oh, it was rushed. There's way more content on light novels." Like, yeah, that's cool. But like, I watch anime, and in the anime, it was not that good. Okay. So 8.6, a 9.5, a 9.8, and then it drops back down. 8.8, 8.7, back up 9.5, 9.1, 9.9, 9.8, 9.8, 9.9. Like, oh shit, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, this season of ReZero was really good. That's all I'm gonna say.